It's now reported by Jacob Steinberg, who's very, very, very credible, that the situation between Chelsea, Caicedo, and Bayern Munich, Brighton, they're acting like bloody Bayern Munich in this deal, is now an impasse. In case anyone watching doesn't know what that means, I had to Google it. It means stalemate or like it's a deadlock for Caicedo. So the deal is actually stalled, and Brighton have told Steinberg that they are willing to go to deadline day to fight for what they want in this deal. So it looks like, as of right now, Chelsea are not getting their main midfielder anytime soon. How detrimental is that for your season? Cheers, Cal. I appreciate it, bro.
No, I was gonna ask one question.
Oh,
what is it Brighton want for Caicedo? Because I know a team
close to Declan Rice fee, I think.
They want 100 mil. They want 100
100 mil.
Yeah, we're out there. We're out of it. My bad for asking. Apologies for holding the show up.
Right. No worries, mate. You didn't hold the show up.
Just sell the Bugatti in your
Yeah.
the Bentley. Sorry, just sell
the
it.
Bentley. Sell the Bentley. David, is this going to be detrimental to your season? Because if you can't integrate a new midfield before the season begins, could this be damaging for your new campaign ahead?
Depends what your expectations are of the season. Again, I am in a position where it's like I still don't expect much from Chelsea. Even though we've signed quite a lot of good players, I'm still waiting to see how the squad actually looks, because when I look at our squad that's currently on pre-season tour, that screams 8th to me. It's not good enough yet. So if your position is Chelsea should be challenging straight away, it is going to be detrimental. But if your position is like mine, where it's like Chelsea should be preparing effectively not for this year, but for next year to really start kicking on, then it's not the end of the world. I personally think in this deal, though, this impasse talk is code for they're going to go away for a couple of days, come back, and then suddenly a magical agreement is going to be found. Because that tends to happen quite a lot. You'll see it with clubs when they say, oh, we will not sell this player under any circumstance. Give it 5 days. Normally that player is having a medical somewhere. Like these things just tend to happen. I think it's just talk for they're still talking about it, but it's obviously Brighton.
Caicedo wouldn't have signed a new deal to not be sold in the summer because he's already made clear he wants to go.
Yeah, I don't think they'll do dirty like that.
Yeah, I don't think they would. That would go down horribly, and I think it'd backfire on them. I think he definitely goes.
And also, in terms of future implications, like if Brighton promise him in January that you can go in summer and they don't sell him, and they get another talent who could potentially get another move in future, this guy's going to be like, hold on, they did Caicedo dirty. I don't know if I can trust these guys, and that could be a potential turner for young talents. And we know that in terms of how they make their money and how they've been shooting up the table, it's been buying all these young players, nurturing them, and then selling them on for a big fee, and then just replacing and just rinse and repeat.
Yeah, are Chelsea fans a little bit worried about someone else coming with a bid that is what Brighton won for Caicedo? Not really.
From the jump, I said I had faith in Bowley. I said Bowley will not let Arsenal get Rice and Caicedo. I said it. I said Bowley will not let that happen. I refuse. He won't let it happen.
But you're not getting Caicedo now. That's what just Terry said.
Mo, let me tell you the stone cold truth. Caicedo will be a Chelsea player by the end of the transfer window. Clip that, timestamp it. I don't care what you do. By the end of the transfer window, Moises Caicedo will be a Chelsea player. I'll tell you that for free. So they're not going to get 100 million. They're just doing that because they're probably a bit salty that we just beat them. So they're just digging their feet in the sand and all this stuff. I personally believe it gets done for about 85 to 90 million. But we 100% get our player because we can't afford to lose out on him.
That's exactly what Arsenal fans said, Roy. That's exactly, and
no, but Arsenal got Rice
more than the asking price.
But that's what Mo's saying though. Like you paid a what? Is it 105 for Enzo? They're looking at that probably going, well, Caicedo is a better player than when you signed Enzo for 105, and he's got Prem experience. Why the hell are we going to sell for less than that?
I believe them promising him he could go means that they'll be a bit leaner in negotiations. Because don't forget, Benfica had literally just signed Enzo 6 months ago. They signed him in January
and you had to activate his release clause.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like that wasn't even.
You didn't buy the guy, Roy. Roy, you didn't buy the guy. You activated the release clause.
Yeah, and I get it, but like I said, Caicedo signed on the promise that they would let him go in summer, and I believe if it looks like we'll walk away, I believe Brighton will lower their standards and they'll say, you know what?
Yeah,
maybe we can't.
That's not my question, Roy. That's not my question. That's not my question, Roy. My question was clear. as Arsenal did, and they stole or whatever, they lowballed or whatever, and at the end, City offered something. If someone else come and offer what they want, you'll have to pay more.
Yeah, well, match.
Are you not worried?
If Arsenal come in and say, listen,
someone said in the comments, Man City might be in the market for a midfielder. Someone else might be. Man United might get comes in for a midfielder.
If Arsenal come in, or if City come in, or Liverpool come in, we will 100% match it. We will not let that slide, because I personally think, from the club's perspective, this is a must buy. So eventually, you're gonna have to put the bread down. Like, you have to get a deal done. We can't miss out on him. Like, I'll be so honest. Our season with him and our season without him, right now, is two very different outlooks. So I believe this is a player that you have to buy. And like Arsenal did, sometimes you've got to put the bread down. I do believe that promise means that they might not get as much as they want, but if push comes to shove, we'll put the bread down and we'll get our player. But I refuse to believe we miss out on him.
Yeah, I don't think you miss out on him. See you later, Cal. Cheers, bro. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Cheers, G. Thank you, mate. Speak to you soon. Top man. Cal is leaving us, and man like Dom is here to replace him on the show. Look at that seamless sub. I don't think it's about whether they get him or not. I think Chelsea get it done. It's about the timing. It's about getting these new players integrated, and I think Chelsea looked really good. Yes, the first game they won 5-0 was against Wrexham, and I know the score line was 4-3 against Brighton, but some of the football from Chelsea look really good. The problem that you've got is that Conor Gallagher was starting and you guys don't want to keep him. You want to get rid of him, or he's going to be sold, whether it's the club wants him out or he wants to leave. Probably they've said that you're going to be a bench player or a rotation player, and he says, I want more than that. That's probably more the middle ground. I think it's important for Chelsea to get these players in sooner rather than later, because there is such pressure on Chelsea to improve this season, because you can't get away from what they've spent. You can't get away from that. And there's that for me is the one bit where if I was a Chelsea fan, I'd be thinking, we need to get a little bit of a wiggle on here. But this super chat from C says, Brighton want Colwell. They keep mentioning him. That is the truth. Every single time you get an update on this, is that Brighton, we still want him. That just doesn't want to go away.
I don't think it's weird, man. It's beyond weird now. It's beyond weird. Like even the other day when De Zerbi started mentioning him, it's disrespectful. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, the guy's back at his club. Do you know what I mean? He's under contract. He's a Chelsea player. A loan is a loan. You get it? You can try and get the player, but after you've been told by the parent club that he's not for sale, you move on. They've been looking at alternatives. Do you know what I'm saying? The other day, De Zerbi came out. He was saying, I wish Colwell and Caicedo can be in my team come the season. Do you know what I mean? Ten Hag wasn't saying any of this about Mason Mount. Arteta wasn't saying anything about this with Havertz. It's just unprofessional to be doing things like that. So now, I hope when we get Caicedo, we report these guys, because what they're doing is mad to me. Like, you can't keep going on about a player that is clearly not for sale. And like I said 1,000,001 times when I've been on this show, I said it. I don't think we're going to get rid of him, because Badiashile, number one, is injured. I think Cole was going to stay.
We don't have a choice.
We don't have a choice. But now that Fofana is injured, I know he's a right centre back. Now is complete. There's not even a debate about Cole staying. Right? It's very clear the guy's staying as well.
Like, if the club have said he's staying and the manager have said he's staying, then the discussion is over.
The discussion is literally over.
Like, unless God himself says Cole was going to Brighton, the discussion is over.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't know. I think you guys put your Chelsea hats on, because like they could quite easily say the same from their perspective. Well, they're like, well, we want 100 million. Discussion's over. They know that you want one of their players and who's been at the club, and they've obviously felt like, he's kicked on. I think you're right to keep him. But if I was Brighton, I'd be doing the same thing. I'd be like, you're not giving me the 100 mil I want. I want one of your players and you want one of mine. If that means shouting them out in a press conference and making you guys sweat a little bit, Chelsea are not adverse to any dirty tactics. Let's not pretend. So I feel like
there's ways of doing it.
You give what you get, really.
But okay, Colleen, if I ask you, is it right that they keep persisting on Colwell, a player that we've clearly said is not for sale?
It's not my style, but I can see why they're doing it. If I was in Brighton's position, Colleen,
as well. You call it as it is. It's talking about Chelsea not being in Europe.
Let's not be intellectually dishonest here. Like, what are we doing?
Come on, guys. In Brighton's position, they're like, they've told you guys several times they want 100 million for Caicedo. We know that. They've asked for that. Whether you pay that or not is a different story.
Yeah, but Colleen, we've debunked that already.
Yeah, but they haven't sold. He's not a Chelsea player yet. You guys are still in discussions for him.
Yeah, but what they're doing, they're using Rice as a benchmark. What I'm saying is, you can't use Rice. You can't use the amount for Declan Rice as a benchmark.
Well, they can do whatever they want.
As much as Caicedo, they can do what they want. He's their player. But what I'm saying is, you can't use Declan Rice as a benchmark, right? Because Declan Rice is a seasoned Premier League player. He's been doing this for 5-6 seasons. West Ham captain, just won a trophy. Like I said, they haven't won a trophy 43 years. He just done it. I think that the amount for Rice is extreme, but I've literally just been saying in the group chat that there's more reasons to justify that amount for Declan Rice. As much as I think Caicedo's got a higher ceiling, 85 million is more than reasonable, because even that's a bump.
But no,
so what about Enzo? What about Enzo?
That's what I was going to say.
I've explained this already, Mo. Enzo, we paid the amount that we did because they did not want to let him leave in January, because unless we paid his release clause. So what we did was paid over the release clause to get him in January. If we waited till summer, we would have paid a lot less. But that means that Madrid are involved. That means that Man City are involved. That means that United are involved.
Other people, though, like if I'm looking at Chelsea, I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I don't think Caicedo was worth 100 million, but I didn't think Declan Rice was either. But you pay what you think they're worth, whatever agreement you come to. But if you're Brighton and you've just seen, and the whole world has seen how Chelsea have been spending money the past 12 months, I don't think they're gonna, I would do the same. I would make your life so much more difficult. Too, especially, I would be like, well, if you're spending that money on everyone else, but you're haggling with me around 30 mil, I'd be just.
That's what I'm saying though. They can try that. They can try their luck. But what I'm saying is,
that's why they want your boy.
It's deluded. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
That's why they want him.
Listen, it'll be deluded to think they're gonna get 100. They can put it up to £100, £100 million. Yeah. Same thing we did with like Mason Mount. For example, we said 85 million at the beginning. We were never gonna get that. Let's be real. The reason why we did that was to meet in the middle. And Brighton, they need to wake up and smell the coffee and understand the situation. We are not gonna pay 100 million for Caicedo. You can ask for that amount, but we're gonna have to meet in the middle. Clubs do this all the time.
Yeah, so their middle is Colin.
The way you talk, Don, do you have leverage? The way you talk, Don, is that
we do have leverage. We do have leverage. Caicedo is pushing for the move. He's pushing for the move.
That's your leverage.
That is our leverage. Yes, that we do have some leverage because he wants to leave. He's accepted terms. They made it clear in January that, listen, if you stay, we're going to up your money and we're going to allow you to leave. Deserby literally said,
Colwell as well.
Let me finish.
If Colwell wants to finish.
Let me finish. Deserby literally said McAllister and Caicedo are for sale. He basically said they're going to leave the club, right? So we have the leverage. It's clear they want to sell the player. They're just being spiteful because of Colwell. Do you get it? If we turn around and say, yeah, we'll sell Colwell, this will get done. It will get here we go tomorrow afternoon. It'll be done.
There's no one else that can afford to buy Caicedo right now because everyone... Hold on, Mo. There's everyone else filled in their midfield already. You got Bryce who got his move. We got Mason Mount. Everyone who needed a midfielder. Liverpool got a McAllister. They're the only guys right now that are left that still need a midfielder. So if you're sitting here and the whole top six wants Caicedo, yes, I'm sure we all want him, but we're actually in for him and we're ready to pay the money, then you could say, yes, they have more leverage than Chelsea do. But Chelsea is realistically the only buyer right now. So they do have leverage other than him actually wanting to come to the club. Now, when you're the only seller and I'm the only buyer, we can't both sit here and act like I have more superiority over you, like, because it's not the case. If there's multiple sellers, multiple buyers, it's a whole different market. But you're talking about one-on-one right now. So we need to sit down and actually agree on something, because as much as you need to sell and the player wants to join me, I need to buy him. You can't bully me and I can't bully you. So yes, Chelsea do have some leverage in this.
My comparison with this was the Declan Rice situation, because Arsenal thought they have leverage. I don't know what happens in the background, but Declan Rice, Arsenal Football Club thought they have leverage. He wants to go, West Ham wants to sell, and Arsenal wants to buy. And at the end, it happened on West Ham terms, as far as we know. That's what I'm just using that as an example. So that example tells me that maybe Brighton thinking the same as Colleen said. They are thinking, if that happened on West Ham's terms, why can this happen on our terms as well? But Chelsea are stalling. Chelsea are not paying. We think we have leverage here, Brighton, because he's our player. Yes, he signed the contract. We promised him the sale, but a sale for a price we think is his value. That's my
Mo. Let me ask you a question, Mo. Then, just to fire that back at you. Do you forget Brighton? Let me ask you. Yeah. Do you think that you can compare Declan Rice, his time in the Premier League, in comparison to a player that's had Premier League experience a year and a half?
No. 100% no.
This is exactly why.
Listen,
it's why we don't want to pay 100 million.
It's not me. Listen, Don, you're talking to us. It's not me. We are actually saying what Brighton think, what we think Brighton are thinking. It's not us. I'm not selling Caicedo. You see.
I'm just saying, innit? I'm just saying.
I hear you guys.